Okay everyone, we're going to begin our challenge by just choosing a sketchbook or a space that we can create with. Anything goes. You can have a simple Moleskine book, I love these very much, or you can have a hardcover one, and this is going to be a space where we can doodle about our day, or we can paint and add drawings to. This is one that I do with my son. He's a preschool child, and we experiment with color and stories and create different textures using a variety of materials and color. In this one we looked at complementary colors. So we're going to explore some of the techniques that I have to build a visual journal. I hold past art lessons and ideas inside of here to help me remember. This is a character design class. This was a bus that we did, some leaf exploration, mixed media. For today's lesson, we're going to simply be working with colors. So what you need to do is choose your sketchbook, open it to a blank page, and we're going to begin. And I hope you're doing this with your friend or your parent or in your classroom, wherever feels right. You're welcome. And I want you to get a clean paintbrush and water and some watercolors. I'm using liquid watercolors, but you can use any kind of watercolors. And what we're going to be exploring today is just color. And I'm going to remove my stir sticks. And we're going to be looking at what happens to the color on the page. So it's really just an exploration. Now, depending on your paper, if you have really great watercolor paper, you can dunk the paper in the water first and then use a sponge to wipe the water away. But for now, I'm just going to be using the water here and putting the water on the page quite liberally, quite a lot of it. And then once my page has some water on it, I'm going to begin a story, and the stories can be told on your own, or you can listen to my story and join in, and you can do a story with color anytime you like. But it's quite a fun way that we can get color on the page and remember some basic skills while painting. So we have our brush here, and the brush is going to be putting the color on the page. So I'm going to pretend that this brush is actually a dancing fairy. And so you can do that too. You can drop your paintbrush fairy into the water, and then you can wipe her toes on the edge of the river to dry, and then on a cloth as well to make sure she's got nice dry feet before she dips her toes into a daffodil that's growing right by the river. And when she puts the daffodil toes onto the ground, an amazing thing happens. New flowers begin to grow. And the sun makes them grow very, very, very big and very wide. And she just loves to see how the color expands and grows and grows and grows. And she looks up and looks for a friend to say, I really hope someone can see this beautiful yellow flowers that are growing on the grass. I wonder if I can see anyone. But before she does, she puts her toes back in the water just for one more refresh and wipes them and dries them so they're nice and dry. And then she dips her toes in some poppies. She flies right into the poppy flowers, and they're just so beautiful, and she's so happy that she wants to show the daffodil. So she goes and dances around the daffodil, and just plays with the daffodil and shows the daffodil the red, juicy color from the poppies. And she's just so happy, and they're growing and expanding into the garden, more and more flowers. And she just can't wait to show some of her friends, but she can't see any of her fairy friends, so she decides to go back in the water and take a break, and dries off her toes and goes back in for more poppies and wants to grow some more. So she dances around again, and more of the poppies grow beside the daffodils. And as she's dancing, she notices that where she danced beside the poppies, new flowers grew that looked orange. And the orange flowers looked a bit like sunflowers. And she couldn't believe how beautiful those sunflowers were. So she wanted to dance a bit more over here to create lighter flowers. So she went back to the water again to rest and dried her toes. And she couldn't believe it, but she saw some violets. Some violet flowers and some blue posies. And she thought, oh my gosh, I wonder what would happen if I danced over here again. And she was amazed, because not only were there blue posies, but violets were popping up beside the poppies. A beautiful purple color appeared. And so she had blue posies and purple violets and in incredible colors. And she thought, oh my, I really want to try to add more sunshine to get more daffodils and maybe some marigolds. So she went back in the yellow and mixed with the poppies to create marigolds. And there she created rich orange marigolds that were so gorgeous. And the marigolds went further over into the land. And she kept dancing amidst those colors and adding more flowers, filling the page with the beautiful color, and being so curious about what happens when the flowers mix together. What new flowers will come and what new colors will appear. It was so beautiful. So she went back in to the blue and thought, I wonder what will happen if I mix the marigolds and the daffodils with the blue posies or the blue bells that grow at springtime, or the blue crocuses. And she went really rich in color and danced, creating beautiful new colors. Beautiful new colors she never dreamed could exist. And the fairy was just so happy to see the colors mixing together. And she thought she really wanted to see one more time what happened when she mixed the luscious red poppies. So she dropped the poppies down and danced. Her shoes were so full of color from all the beautiful flowers by the river that when she danced, more colors. She dipped her feet in the cool water and dried her toes and went back into the golden sunflowers, and she danced and she danced and she danced. She danced for joy because she could see mysterious colors forming that she never knew existed, and new flowers of wonder. And many poems came to her that she wanted to share with her friends. And then it was amazing because all of a sudden the fairies started to appear in the garden. Many fairies of every color skipped about. Fairies that were blue and purple appeared in the garden. Everyone was just so happy to see the colors expanding magically in front of their eyes. And they thought, what a beautiful river we live by with all this garden. I'm so grateful for the sun that gives us color and gardens and friends. So that's the end of my story. And I hope you had a great time exploring color. We like to create for 10 minutes a day in our home. Make sure we do that every day through color and story. So that's the first step that we have to do in our visual journal. And I hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait to see what colors you created. But you can see here, if I zoom in, all the beautiful rainbow colors that exist, the magical connection between the colors. So we can then let this dry and create poetry on top of it, or draw fairies. Whatever you like, it's your visual journal. So please experiment with the colors and see what new colors you can find and what new pictures and ideas will come from that exploration. Okay, see you next time.